I want to talk to you today about the dyslexic's discovery. You may find yourself with a perceived weakness and wonder how you're ever going to perform what God has called you to perform. We're going to think through that today. This is Redeeming the Time Brothers podcast, a podcast by Gene Kissinger and Norman Kissinger, two brothers who spent their lives in ministry and raising large families. Our desire is to provide a digital place for those who long belong. And as always, we want to leave a nightlight on. For that nightlight, the Apostle Paul speaking, 2 Corinthians 12 and verse 9, and he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Christ speaking to Paul. In the rolling hills of Devon, England, a young girl sat frustrated at her desk, tears threatening to spill as letters danced mockingly before her eyes. The words seemed to flip and twist, refusing to hold still long enough for her mind to grasp their meaning. Her teachers shook their heads in disappointment. Her classmates snickered. Reading aloud was agony, and writing felt like trying to capture lightning with her bare hands. That little girl was Agatha Christie. She was discovering what millions of dyslexic children know all too well, the crushing weight of being different in a world that demands conformity. There is kind of a prison of perceived failure. Dyslexia wasn't even recognized as a learning difference in Christie's era. She was simply labeled as slow, lazy, or unintelligent. The very foundation of education, reading and writing, felt like an insurmountable mountain, while her peers effortlessly decoded words on pages. Agatha's brilliant mind was trapped behind what seemed like an impenetrable barrier. How many of us carry similar wounds? Perhaps your dyslexia isn't letters, but with numbers, social situations, or physical coordination. Maybe you stutter when you speak, or struggle with anxiety, or feel awkward in your own skin. The world has a way of making us feel broken, doesn't it? Like we're missing some essential piece that everyone else seems to possess naturally. But there's a paradox. And here's where God's economy differs radically from the world's accounting system. Paul discovered this truth when he was pleading with God to remove a thorn in the flesh, some unnamed struggle that caused him constant difficulty. Instead of healing, God gave him something better, a revelation that would echo throughout the centuries. My grace is sufficient for thee. My strength is made perfect in weakness. Perfect, not adequate, not acceptable, perfect. The Greek word for perfect here means to complete, to bring to full development, to achieve the intended purpose. God wasn't just making the best of a bad situation. He was revealing that weakness is the precise condition where his power operates most effectively, when disadvantages become divine advantage. Christie's dyslexia forced her to develop compensatory skills that would revolutionize mystery writing. Unable to rely on traditional reading and writing methods, she learned to think in pictures and sounds rather than words, creating vivid mental movies of her stories, to develop an exceptional memory to compensate for reading difficulties, allowing her to keep complex plot threads straight without extensive notes, to hear dialogue internally with perfect pitch, making her characters come alive through their voices. She approached problems from unique angles, since conventional thinking patterns weren't available to her. What appeared to be a devastating weakness became the foundation of her genius. Her brain, wired differently by necessity, created stories so intricate and compelling she became the most widely published author in history, with over 2 billion books sold worldwide. That's billion with a B. Her dyslexia wasn't overcome, it was transformed. Her weakness became her wonder, her struggle, her strength, her disability, her distinctive calling. The same God who worked that miracle in a confused little girl in Devon is ready to work a similar miracle in you. Your weakness isn't disqualification, it's divine appointment. Your disadvantage isn't your downfall, it's your doorway to discovering His grace truly is sufficient. His strength truly is made perfect in the very places where you feel most inadequate. The world may see limitation, but God sees limitless possibilities, and that makes all the difference.